Hear him? Hear him? It's the dope mule going around the back of Pollock Building. I'm trying to figure out how far he goes. He might be going over the bridge. I don't know if Washington Street Bridge is open. I haven't seen any going past there to see any traffic coming in or out of that area. I know that bridge is pretty rickety, so I don't know if that's shut down. The sidewalk might be open. Last time I walked that sidewalk was, I don't know how long ago. But it sounds like he's going down south end of Pottstown. But not very far. I would say Cherry Street. Because I no longer hear him. And at night, and even around now, as long as the traffic ain't moving quickly or fast, you can hear noise travels in this town. It echoes too. So you can hear him. If he was motoring all the way to Industrial Highway, I'd be able to hear it. You might not on camera. My camera might not pick it up, but I could hear him. And it sounds like he cut the engine either as he got over the bridge or right before the bridge, something like that. So there's railroad tracks there too. So what you have here across the street is the Pollock Building, those houses back in there, back in here, and then you have the railroad tracks that goes under the bridge. And then if he crossed over the bridge, the first street he should come to is, I think it's Cherry Street. Or New Street. I don't think New Street comes all the way up here. I think it ends at Redner's. Or Rite Aid, excuse me. No, I'm wrong. It begins at Rite Aid and ends at Franklin, I think. But he did not come down Apple Street alleyway, so he stopped right out here somewhere before the bridge or after it. So one of these houses here he stopped at, down this end, or he stopped behind the Pollock Building, or he went over the bridge and took the first street there, so he knows somebody. But my point is, he's up here 12, 15 times a day. And, 3 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the morning, 4 a.m., I've seen him many, 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 many times. And this is every night of the week, weekend. Sometimes weekends get more. Sometimes during the week gets more. So it sounds like as the drugs penetrate Pottstown, if the flow is good, he's out here more. If the flow is bad, like right now, it looks like we're in a recession. Nobody's got food stamps to sell for dope. So you see him less and less. But he's still making his rounds, the same rounds he usually does. He'll hit the Smith Towers. He'll go up and beyond that, maybe Bob Larkin's buildings by the VFW, as far as that, or maybe the little Aki stores up there, the gas stations, what used to be Bart Sunoco, Little Italy area. Or he'll come down here. Mainly he stays back in here, so he knows somebody. There's either a drug dealer that lives down here and he's getting his supply and then he's taking it back down to the motel, or something is going on back in there. So that's my take on it. Again, everybody has a small percentage to be wrong. You know what I mean? I could be wrong. But what it looks like for the past 2 years, this guy is muling drugs all over Pottstown. That's what it looks like. You can see him at every hour of the day. I don't know how he sleeps or when he sleeps. There must be two of them. I guarantee you, one sleeps while the other one mules. I don't know. But my word to Jesus, this man is in the street 24/7. Up and down, up and down, up and down the street. And I can't for the life of me think why the cops let him do that. And I think that's a major reason why this bald-headed black guy out here keeps trying to get me out of the building. Talking to the police and everything, trying to trump stuff up on me. Look, I'm a diabetic. I do have syringes. He was talking to somebody out here, what sounded like a cop today, the bald-headed black guy. I have footage of it. And trying to say, can't you go up in there and say you had needles? Listen, I have needles. I'm a diabetic. I shoot insulin twice a day. That doesn't make me a drug addict. I'm as clean as a judge, sober as a judge. You ever hear that term? That's what I am. And most judges nowadays aren't sober, so that kind of makes that quote redundant. But anyway, point being is I don't do drugs. I hate drugs. I want them out of my country. I'm a Trump supporter. kill the Democrats, get rid of the Muslims, get rid of Antifa, get rid of the drug cartels, and make our country great again. That's my motto. I don't want drugs in my town. This town was never Mayberry, but it was dang close. You could walk. I could sleep on the sidewalks out here at midnight, and nobody would bother me. 35 years ago. Now, we even had a drug corridor then since the 70s, and nobody would bother you out here on the sidewalks. I could walk over to what is Chester County, I believe, across the river and sleep in the baseball field over there back behind the river, and nobody would bother you on the picnic tables. Nobody would bother you. Now, you need a bodyguard to walk to go get a soda. I am not lying. That's what I'm against. So, and that's why the drug dealer out here this morning was talking to a guy in a pretty slick car with a roof that went back a little bit, a window that was electric. And they heard me saying my cameras are being monitored by the police. What I meant was my videos are being monitored by the police, which is in essence, they are monitoring my cameras. But anyway, my point being is there's cameras everywhere. Cameras everywhere. Door chimes. I heard just the other day that there's a company out there that's going to start working with the police. They're going to sell door chimes, but the police are going to have the IP addresses to that door chime so they can watch your neighborhood for you while you're not home. I don't see no problem in that. I love it. They can surveillance right from the office what these dope heads are doing out here. And I guarantee you this bald-headed black guy, right said Fred Black version, is dealing drugs out here. That's why he wants me out of here. And they're sneaking in and out of this building in the back of it to deal said drugs. They're sleeping here. I've heard people downstairs many times. There's nobody in this building but me, but yet I hear people coming and going all the time. And of course, do you think the Hindu owner of the building is going to do anything? Hell no. He's going to let them deal their drugs. He's probably got them set up in different buildings all across town dealing their drugs all up and down High Street. I wouldn't be surprised if he owns half the block, the 200 block where the Moose is, across the street from there. They're dealing out of there. But right now, you hear how quiet it is other than the drug mule going down there? There's no prostitutes out here now. They're not lining up under my windows and all the way halfway up the block toward the Aki store anymore, between the head shop and the mosque to deal drugs. You know why? Because they've been dimed out. I've got cameras. That guy's a cop. No, he's not. Yes, he is. I never told anybody I'm a cop, by the way. I'm just a citizen who's tired of the shit, who's tired of walking outside and you got to, hire 6 bodyguards. I mean, it's redundant and ridiculous. These cops should need to do their jobs. Democrat or Republican, I don't care what you are, do your job. You took an oath to uphold the law or the Constitution to uphold my rights. My rights have been violated since I moved onto this block. Do you understand what I mean? People smoking weed downstairs in front of their kids and thinking that's okay to do. These nuts running around here barking at tree leaves and screaming at the top of their lungs. That's ridiculous. None of that should be going on. You give a mentally ill person with schizophrenia or some kind of mental illness meth, you know what that turns them into? Super psycho. Do you understand what I mean? They start, you already see meth monsters and you get steroid rage from it. So like I said, they need to stop this guy on a moped once in a while or a mini bike and say, what are you hauling? Slap a GPS underneath his carriage and follow him around to see what he's doing. I mean, it's not that hard. They sell them fucking GPS devices right online. Matter of fact, all you need is his phone number and you can just clock him around town. Ridiculous. Stop the drugs, man. All right.